I am your host, Miss Lalaine Joyce Rosa, and I am here with Mr. Windale, our guest for today. And we have as well our audiences to ask 4 questions regarding our topic, gender equality. So, how are you, Mr. Windale?
So today I feel great and amazing.
Okay, so let's proceed to our first question.
My question to you is, what does the word discrimination mean to you?
For me, when we talk about discrimination with regards to gender, I think discrimination is when you discriminate someone's sexuality. So when we talk about sexuality, those are the things that are belong to the LGBT community. But I want to clearly emphasize that I am not part or belong to the LGBTQ community, but I respect and support their community.
Thank you, Mr. Windale. So now let's proceed to our second question.
Speaking of discrimination, Mr. Windale, what is your message to those people who have prejudices or they have negative connotation toward individuals who are members of LGBTQ? How can they learn to show compassion and acceptance to those members?
With regards to those prejudice and negative connotation, especially as a person who is having a sexuality crisis, I believe that those people should put their feet on their shoes, because having this kind of problem, especially this kind of sexual identity in the LGBT community, is not an easy task. So the best thing to do is to give them education.
So now let's proceed to our third question for today.
Okay, good evening, sir. So, as what we have said earlier, you are facing sexuality crisis. So, how can you be an advocate of gender equality when in fact, in yourself, you are facing identity crisis?
Actually, knowing yourself that you're having sexuality crisis is already a one way to be an advocate. It means it's an awareness for everyone that LGBTQ+ and sexuality crisis is not an easy for a person who experiencing that way. So as an advocate, I will share awareness to everyone that because this is the stigma of the world, they tend to relate identity and sexuality, though they are far different. Identity is only men and women, while sexuality, those are the LGBTQ+ community. And according to a Bible scholar, which is named by Rick McKinley, your primary identity is not your sexuality, and it's who you are as a man and a woman in Christ.
Wow, that's a very empowering answer, Mr. Windale.
Thank you.
So now I have a question for you. As a member of LGBTQ community, do you feel accepted by your friends, by your family, or in the community you are living right now?
Okay, thank you for that. But first, I want to correct that my action is only feminine, but I am not a part of LGBTQ community. And when we talk about acceptance, if I am being accepted by my friends and family, first, in order for them to accept me, I should first accept myself. And I believe they already accepted me. But the only thing that I want also to emphasize that despite from those acceptance, we should put also some considerations that there are some activities that we should not support, but we should respect those people. And in my case, as long as we respect each other, that's the best way to show the love for others.
Thank you for answering my question, Mr. Windale.
Thank you.
So now let's proceed to our last question.
Okay, so what is your advice to someone or words of encouragement to someone in the LGBTQ+ community who experience gender inequality?
Okay, my advice is not just only for gender inequality, but it's a general advice, especially for gender inequality. First, as a person, you should know yourself. You should know yourself and understand yourself. And at the same time, understand that the world is full of judgment. You can't really escape from those judgments because that's the human nature. So if you can understand yourself, it means you have to put yourself and allow yourself to touch something. And you know what is that? That's the Bible. Because you have to understand the Bible, because the Bible will make you understand that God's love don't limit anyone. genders.
Thank you for your words of encouragement, Mr. Windale, and thank you for sparing your time with us. And this ends our interview for today.
Bye-bye!